What's up, friends? It's T-Rowan. I'm a little bit buzzed, and today we're gonna talk about this neo-noiristic cyberpunk sex panther of a car called the Hyundai N Vision 74 concept. And yes, it is made with bits of real panthers, so you know it's good. I wanted to do a quick video. I always say that. Mostly about the specs of this car and the battery and fuel cell tech that it includes. Disclaimer, I'm gonna give you the facts and tell it like it is. We're also going to touch on the background of the concept and the design. It just looks so good. It's cute. I'm no automotive designer, so I'm just giving you my opinion on this love-making kitty cat. And no, you can't buy it. Let's get into it. So a little bit of background on this concept. Just go watch the corporate video if you want the full background, okay? You want the story with all the drama, buzzwords, and the synergistic synchronicities and meaning of life, which is, it turns out, is just the letter N, Hyundai's performance division. I gotta say, Hyundai's automotive design as of late has been off the chain. Quite literally, they're releasing their designers from the shackles in the basement, handing them a crack pipe, and letting them wander the streets of automotive design while high, and I love it. The suits over at Hyundai are like the parents that drop their kids off at the playground and just tell them to follow their dreams and just dip out. The automotive industry needs more of that. It really does. Hyundai used to be a brand to steer clear of, and now, look at this lineup. The Elantra, the Ioniq 5, the Kona EV, the Santa Cruz. They have a truck, and these experimental vehicles that are a part of Hyundai's rolling lab. Not the rolling lab that you're probably accustomed to, okay? This isn't a rolling lab in Alabama. These are experimental vehicles containing Hyundai's next generation electric vehicle and racing tech. Pretty rad stuff. Maybe I'll do a separate video on the rolling lab concept. There's a lot to unpack there. This brings us to the N Vision 74. I'm gonna call it NV74 because it sounds cooler, which is the first hydrogen hybrid rolling lab. Again, not meth, but a hydrogen fuel cell plus battery experimental vehicle. This retro-futuristic looking son of a DeLorean can be inserted into any dystopian cyberpunk future of your choosing, but replicants are not included. This car draws its inspiration from the Hyundai Pony Coupe 1974, which was designed by the legend, the guy, Giorgetto Jaguario. Probably just butchered that name, but this man designed all of these cars and many more. He's designed motorcycles, places, cameras. This guy's even designed guns. This man designed firearms, okay? He's done everything. Some say he's designed the very simulation that we're living in. Okay, that was too far. Was that too far? This Pony Coupe was the prototype for Hyundai's first production sports car, although it never reached production. Now, Jaguaro later went on to design the DeLorean. So you could say that maybe these cars are cousins, okay, maybe like third cousins. Like the one at your family reunion that you find kind of hot, but then you realize that you're being an idiot because you're still family, you know, unless that's generally frowned upon unless you're aristocracy in the 1600s or you live in a specific place like, oh, I don't know, Alabama. I don't know why this place keeps coming up. All right, moving on. Fast forward to present times and let's talk about Hyundai's Korean-born lead designer SangYup Lee, who came to California in 1995 to study transportation design. He went on to work for Porsche, Pininfarina in Europe before moving stateside to work for the pinnacle of the automotive industry, the upper echelon, the General Motors, the General. Okay, it's just GM. He is most famous for, believe it or not, drum roll, the 2010 Camaro, the generation that brought back this glorious pony car, back from the depths of rural American hell, where this catfish of a car had been feeding on the underbellies of local liquor stores and bars on Friday nights, specifically in Alabama and Florida too. Just a side note though, I'm guilty. I happen to love Camaros, okay? My dad had a 69 Camaro. He later had an 84 Camaro, third gen, that happened to be my mom's car first. I had a 79 Camaro, truly one of the worst years for that car. It was a total performance turd. You gotta admit though, this two-tone paint job I had, it's total disco inferno. It's hot. This probably explains a lot about me now, doesn't it? You're starting to understand who I am. Oh, and as if things couldn't get weirder, GM's code name that predates Camaro is none other than Panther, Sex Panther. But alas, it is true, the N Vision 74 has Camaro DNA inside of it, which will forever be a reminder of SangYup Lee and his stylistic design. You can see elements of this in the car's pixel taillights and inset front grille with pixel running lights that are covered by a spectacular sweeping hood line. Very, very pony car. Much pony car. I love it. That lower ring really completes the front fascia. And how about these inset door designs? A lot of concepts with these inset doors. They really give the car a curvy, sexy appeal, almost like a Coke bottle or, you know, you know. And you gotta love these louvers on the rear windshield that lead down to the rear wing and give you a nice slap in the face to remind you that this is still just a Hyundai. I'm kidding, I really do think that this car is amazing and that Hyundai killed it. It even has sharp lines. The automotive industry needs more sharp lines. Everything nowadays is so smooth, so curved. We need more sharp, jagged lines in the industry, all right, in the designs. We want to go 0 to Blade Runner real quick, and Hyundai is helping us get there. Sexy Korean car design is now a thing. Kia, you're getting it too. I just want to point out how much I love the little detail of the pixel lights. By creating these cube LEDs, they give the sense that the light is a tangible, physical object that you can touch. You can't touch the individual pixels of your phone, right? It's just a digital flat nothing. It just lights up. You can't touch it. It's like the concept of CGI dinosaurs versus real, physical, terrifying animatronic dinosaurs. They just don't compare. The latter has a physical authenticity to it. What do you think about the design elements of this car? Leave a comment. Let me know what you think about this car. What's your favorite part of this car? Maybe you live in the state of Alabama. Leave a comment. Everybody knows that all of the dislikes in this video are gonna be from Alabamians anyway. If you don't wanna be from Alabama, maybe consider smashing that like button. Yeah. Let's move into the tech and close this video out. The NV74 is Hyundai's vision for what a high-performance auto design looks like for the sustainable future. Let's first take a look at the specs of this car and then discuss our way through them. Here comes the boring part. Yeah, whatever. Here we have the dims. Right, we've got a wheelbase of 2905 mm, which in freedom units is 2 bald eagles and like half an American flag. We've got a total max power of 500 kilowatts or 670 horsepower, 670 power of horses dancing or running around a pole. And a max torque of 900 Newton meters that it puts to the ground through 2 independent rear electric motors. Guys, I'm looking at these specs live with you. Like I did a little bit of research ahead of time, but I was like, I'm gonna take a few shots and just freeball it. This is the result of that. You're welcome. I'm sorry. To put this torque into perspective though, I think the Tesla Model S Plaid Edition has like 1500 Newton meters of torque, which is insane. My dirt bike has 300 Newton meters of torque at the wheel, which is ridiculous for a bike. 900 is nothing to sneer at, okay? And having independent motors in the rear offers the ability for the system to control the power to each wheel, which is improved handling and overall performance. A little thing called torque vectoring. It makes the Sex Panther that much more agile as it maneuvers towards its prey. The car has individual cooling systems for the main parts of the high voltage system, you know, so you're not carrying heat from the motor to the battery to the inverter, etc. There must be multiple heat exchangers on board. And that means these little vents aren't just holes to nowhere. Take a lesson there, BMW E46 M3.
The integrated control system manages optimal power distribution between the fuel stack and the fuel cell and the battery at the bottom, making the best synergy to
Synergy, really? Dude, take a shot every time you come across the word synergy in corporate literature, all right? I just made a joke about this in this same video earlier. I swear, I didn't know this line was in here. We get it, marketing departments of the world. Latin and or Greek stem, S-Y-N, syn means together, and energy, together, energy. But what this means for the NV74 is that we've got a hydrogen fuel cell stack and a battery working harmoniously. The hydrogen fuel cell converts hydrogen and an oxidizing agent to electricity by way of chemical reaction, all right? Go read the Wikipedia page. We've also got a 62.4 kilowatt hour battery on board that works synergistically with the fuel cell. Fuel cell is capable of putting out up to 95 kilowatt power, which is approximately 20% of the total power output of this car, with the battery putting out the remaining 400 kilowatts. Theoretically, with this fuel cell, you can have a smaller battery, or you could delete the hydrogen system and just go with a larger battery, you know? You knew I was gonna say that. You knew I was gonna say it. Let's slow down and put ourselves in Hyundai's shoes use. One of the main reasons that the automotive industry has such a hard-on for hydrogen is the fact that you can refuel it in minutes. Whereas charging a battery electric vehicle is typically taken upwards of an hour and is considered a barrier to entry for EVs. It looks like this fuel cell can put out a maximum of 95 kilowatts of power. So let's just use that number and see how long it would take to charge the battery from 0%, which you should never be at, by the way. The energy of the battery, which is 62.4 kilowatt hours divided by 95 kilowatt power of the fuel cell output, cancel them K-dubs, and that gives us 0.65 hours or about 40 minutes of charge time. Okay, not bad. The battery specs also tout that there's the capability of 800 volt fast charging. Promises to bring about charge times of sub 20 minutes to go from 0% to 80%. Now this tech is still being developed, could bode well for the future of charging. So despite being able to fill a hydrogen tank of the NV74 in 5 minutes, don't let this distract you from the fact that it still takes more time to charge the battery with that energy stored in the hydrogen. Because if the battery's not charged, you've got 95 kilowatts of power just from hydrogen alone, or the fuel cell. That's not much. If you're not charging the battery, you're just working synergistically with it. The battery's still putting out most of the power, so the hydrogen's only contributing 20% to the peak power. Why not just put more batteries in? Last bit on hydrogen as it relates to this car. A single kilogram of hydrogen stores 33.6 kilowatt hours of usable energy. Okay, that means that these 4.2 kilogram capable tanks on the N Vision 74 are capable of storing 141 kilowatt hours of energy. But due to the fuel cell nominal efficiency of 40 to 60%, only 85 kilowatt hours of that energy will actually go on to be used in a best case scenario. Just delete the tanks and add more batteries. Maybe Hyundai knows something that we don't, and it'll be interesting to see what they learn from this rolling hydro lab. The car also boasts a top speed of 155 miles per hour or 250 kph for the rest of the world, and a range of 372 miles or 600 km. It really does sound like so much more range in km. All right, that's gonna do it for this video. I've gone far too long banging on about Sex Panthers and hydrogen. Hydro Sex Panther is an awesome band name if someone wants it, or a really dirty flick that I don't want to see. I will say, to summarize, this car is phenomenal, and although we may never see it produced, let's hope that it changes the industry and inspires automotive designers for generations to come. I can at least dream of riding in my Sex Panther 74 blasting Steel Panther and letting my mullet flow in the future dystopian nuclear radiated wind. But for now, that's all just a dream. If you enjoyed this video, smash that like button. Please leave some feedback. Tell me how much you like or hate this car or this video, or even the state of Alabama. If you want more content like this and want me to get up off my ass and make it, feel free to hit that subscribe button. Most importantly, stay sane and be safe out there.